Hey, you alright? Welcome to another video. If you haven't been here before, my name is Georgia Jo and this is my channel where I talk all things books. So today I am going to try my very best to finish my August TBR. So it's actually currently the 28th of August, so we've got 4 days left, 28, 29, I'm pretty sure it's 31 days in August, and I've got 4 books left on my TBR, so I probably am not going to actually get them all read in the 4 days, but we're just going to film this video until I finish these 4. So the 4 that I have got left are Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellors. I don't really know much about this book. I think it's a romance slash literary fiction, but I'm not really sure. Then we have got Lore of the Wilds by Anna Lee Brana. So this is the first one in the duology, so I think I'm going to read this one last so that I can go straight into the second one if I really enjoy it. So I think this one is I'm going to read last out of the 4. And then we have We Solve Murders by Richard Osman, who is the author of the Thursday Murder Club. This is the first one in a new series. And then last but not least, we've got Minding Frankie by Maeve Binchy. I think this is just going to be a cozy general fiction book, I think. I'm not really 100% sure, but yeah, I think that's going to be the vibe. So they're the 4 that we've got left. Hopefully if I can get a book read every day for the next 4 days, that would be amazing, but I'm not sure that's going to happen, especially because I've got 2 fairly thick hardbacks and this book is pretty thick as well, Cleopatra and Frankenstein. But this is the one that we're going to start with anyway. Like I say, don't really know much about it. I've never read anything by this author before either, but we're on 368 pages it's got, so I don't think I'm going to get this read today. I am in the office today as well. It is currently 7:15 in the morning, but I thought I'd film this intro before I go in and then I can start reading this on my lunch and then after work. But yeah, this is going to be the first book we'll go with. It is a few days later now, it's Saturday, and I started this video on Thursday, and I've decided to DNF Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I got up to page 131 and I have no desire to carry it on. So basically this book is following Cleo and Frank, who have quite a big age gap between them, and they get into kind of a bit of a whirlwind romance and decide to get married only a few months into meeting each other. And you're following their love story and also some of the people around them, like some of the friends, some of the family, and it's very, very character driven, this book, which is absolutely not an issue for me. Normally it's something I really enjoy when there's, even if there's not, you know, a massive plot. It doesn't usually bother me, but with this I don't actually really like any of the characters, or either I don't like them or I'm just a bit indifferent towards some of them. I just think I'm just wasting my time, like forcing myself to read it basically, and I don't think I'm going to enjoy the rest of it. So I actually googled some spoilers for it to see if it was worth me reading it, and I saw that there was like a trigger warning for suicide for it, and I just thought, I just have no desire to read this. I don't want to read it. I don't really want to trigger myself or put myself into like a bad headspace, so I'm just not going to carry it on. I'm going to DNF it. It wasn't, if I was really enjoying the story, or you know, I was enjoying the characters, maybe it wouldn't have been too bad, but I think then on top of that I saw about the suicide being mentioned in it, and that was like the final straw, you know. I don't really want to read that, so I am unfortunately DNFing it at 131 pages in. So that leaves me on to the next book of this video, which I've not started yet, as I've literally just 10 minutes ago decided to DNF that book. But we're going to move on to We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. So this is the author that wrote the Thursday Murder Club, and this is his new series with totally different characters, completely new series, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'm going to start this one. I don't really know much going into it. I'm assuming it's going to be another murder mystery. I think it's a man and woman detective duo that have sort of been put together. They don't know each other, I think, and they're working together to like solve murders. Or I've just read the blurb on the inside, and it says solving murders is a family business. So we've actually got Steve Wheeler and then his daughter-in-law Amy Wheeler. Oh, okay, so it's a father-in-law, daughter-in-law duo try to catch a murderer, basically. So yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this. I do typically, like, I've read all the Thursday Murder Club books that are out and I've enjoyed all of them, so hopefully this will be a new Richard Osman book that I enjoy. I like reading an author where I've only sort of read, you know, if they've only had one series out, it's good to have another series from them, so I know, is it Richard Osman's writing that I really enjoy, or was it just the characters from the Thursday Murder Club, you know? So yeah, I'm looking forward to starting this. Probably take me a few days to start it. I was hoping to actually have this video go live tomorrow, but that's not going to happen now, so it will probably be live at the start of September. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to go and start this. So I've got up to page 119 with We Solve Murders. I forgot what it was called then. We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. I'm enjoying this so far. I do really enjoy Richard Osman's writing. I think he creates such likeable characters that I just feel like I'm going on this ride with them. They just feel like they could be very real people, you know? So basically this story is following Steve and Amy, who are father-in-law and daughter-in-law, and Amy works for a private security firm, and Steve is a retired police officer or detective, and he just wants to live this very like peaceful life. He lost his wife, so he just wants to like enjoy his retirement. It kind of plays a little bit like a neighborhood watch person, where he helps them solve like mysteries in the neighborhood, but they're like, you know, someone's pet has gone missing or someone's stealing from the local shop, things like that, things that are happening in the community. So that's kind of his ties still with being a detective, but he doesn't want to do anything more major than that. And then Amy, on the other hand, is still working in she's still a private security guard, and she's currently on this private island with this woman who is someone's trying to murder her, so she's very much in like the thick of it still. And they talk every day, they're very close. Her husband Adam, who is Steve's son, is like still alive, but I'm not really sure. He's not been introduced to us, he's just sort of been mentioned a couple of times, so I don't really know much about him. But there's been 3 murders where all 3 people that have been murdered were clients of the security firm that Amy works for, and she kind of is linked to all 3 of them in very suspicious ways. So now she is basically on the run because she thinks the person that has killed those 3 people are now wanting to kill her and her boss Jeff Nolan, who's the CEO of the security firm. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I think it's very gripping. I'm wanting to know who the murderer is. We've been introduced to like the higher up, the kind of, what's it called, that's controlling everyone, the puppeteer I guess, of this criminal world, but we don't actually know who they are. They're under like an alias, but we have been introduced to them. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. They're on the run, so it's all very exciting. There's like people trying to kill them at every corner, and they don't really know why. They don't understand how they've been involved in it. And yeah, so I'm very much enjoying it. I really like the characters. Like I say, I think he writes very likable, personable characters. So yeah, very much enjoying it so far. Like I say, I'm 119 pages in, so not very far, but I'm gonna probably read for another couple of hours now and then finish it tomorrow. It is the last day of August, so it will, you know, we're going into September to finish my August TBR, but that's okay, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, gonna do some more reading and I'll let you know when I've got some more thoughts. Okay, so I just finished We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I am definitely a fan of Richard Osman's writing. I love the characters that he creates and the little world that just feels very real. I think what it is with the characters, what makes them so lovable, is they just seem, the majority of them are British. It's the same with the Thursday Murder Club series, and you can just feel that, like, they're just so typically British, and I feel like I don't read a lot of books like that. The like humour is very dry and the dialogue is very blunt between the characters, and it's all just very straightforward, you know. There's not too much to think about. Obviously the actual mystery itself you're having to figure out, but yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I had such a good time reading it, and the mystery aspect of it I really enjoyed. I didn't sort of figure out what was going to happen. I wasn't necessarily trying to work it out, but when I was reading it and it all sort of, you know, came to a head and you found out the mystery and the answer to it, like it was solved, I felt like satisfied with that. I thought it was a good, like, it made sense, but it was also surprising, you know. It wasn't too, you know, sometimes I feel like I could read mysteries and I'm like surprised, but I'm surprised because that makes no sense for it to be that person, you know. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's just a good, easy, fun book to read, and it leads you on to the next one as well. It's all like done in this book, but you can tell there's going to be more books with these same characters, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah, overall going to give it 4 stars. Very much enjoyed it, and glad that it was another series from Richard Osman that I can enjoy, because like I said when I started this, I wasn't sure if it was just the Thursday Murder Club and the characters that I enjoyed, or if I actually like his writing. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Next up, we are going to read Minding Frankie by Maeve Binchy. I've never read anything by this author before. I think this is like books that have been around for a while. I think she's written a lot of books, like a very well-known famous author, but I've just never read anything by her before, so I'm looking forward to it. It looks like a nice cozy read, so this is next up on the agenda. I have now finished Minding Frankie by Maeve Binchy. I didn't do an update whilst I was in the middle of it because I didn't really feel like I had a reason to be honest. I didn't massively enjoy this book. I think it's definitely a character driven book, like it's the plot is the characters' lives, but I just think there was too many characters basically. So this book is about a close community in Dublin, and they all come together to help take care of this unexpected birth of this little girl called Frankie, who mum and dad had a one-night stand obviously 9 months ago, and when it comes to her birth, her mum unfortunately has got cancer and is not going to survive the birth. So she gets in touch with Noel, who is the dad, and he is like an alcoholic. He's in a bit of a dead-end job, he's a bit of a recluse, he doesn't really talk to anyone, and then he gets told that he's got this daughter. So the whole community kind of gather around him and help him get back on track, help him with his job, help him with getting some qualifications and getting him off the drink and stuff like that, and help him bring up this daughter. He's got a cousin called Emily who came over from America, who I liked her character, but she was just very unrealistic. Like, she came over from America to Ireland and basically just fixed everyone's life. Like, this all happens in the first kind of couple of chapters. She just fixes everything and like knows what to do and knows what people need, these people that she's never met before. So it was just a bit like, I don't know, it just seemed, like I say, unrealistic. Like I said before, I think there were too many characters in this. I think it would have been better and I would have felt more connected to the characters if there was less of them, because it was just jumping from character to character and I couldn't remember who they all were. And some characters you get like a big chapter on and you delve in deeper into them and the personality and what's happening to them, and then you never hear about them again. So it was just a bit like, some of the characters were just unnecessary for us to hear about basically. And then the last kind of third of this book just felt all over the place. It felt like there was no cohesion. There was random things happening to the characters that no real reason for why these things were happening, you know. It just felt a little bit chaotic, a little bit all over the place. So yeah, I didn't massively enjoy it. I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars, and that is purely because there was some characters which I really liked, and there was moments that had me feeling a little bit emotional, tearing up, because I felt like I say, connected to a few of the characters. But yeah, overall I wouldn't remember it. It's probably very forgettable, probably not really going to think about it again, and I didn't massively enjoy most of the characters, so I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. So that is Minding Frankie by Maeve Binchy, and then that leads us on to starting the last book in this video, which is Law of the Wilds by Anna Lee Brana. I don't really know much about this book. I know it's the first one in a duology, and I'm assuming it's a fantasy, maybe a bit of a love triangle romantasy, because there's 2 men on the front, but I genuinely don't really know much about it. So I'm looking forward to delving into it. I feel like the past couple of books haven't been fantasy. I think there's 3 books now I've read that haven't been fantasy, so I'm looking forward to jumping into a new fantasy world. So yeah, gonna start this. It's not a very long book, so hopefully I'll be able to maybe even finish it today, but definitely over the next couple of days, we'll see. And yeah, I'm gonna go and start it. So I'm currently 178 pages into Law of the Wilds. I'm on chapter 15, so I'm about halfway, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I think it's been a really easy read that has kept me hooked, like I'm not wanting to put it down. So yeah, it's definitely keeping my attention. I'm really enjoying it. At first when I started it, I thought it was kind of giving a little bit YA, but then all of a sudden the female character starts swearing, and I don't know if that's necessarily means it's not YA. I don't know if they swear in YA books, but there was just a really small portion of it where she was like effing and jeffing for no apparent reason, and then it kind of, she doesn't really swear for the rest of the book, so it was just a little bit random. But yeah, I think it's more maybe new adult maybe rather than YA. But yeah, really enjoying it. The only thing at the beginning was the MMC. I don't know if he's the only MMC or if there's going to be another one introduced at some point. I'm not really sure. I think he's this guy on the front. This is our MMC Asher at the moment, and I'm assuming this guy is the like royalty one, but I don't really know who he is going to be. So yeah, what was I saying? So the MMC at the beginning has a nickname for her, and he calls her Mouse, and I just wasn't a fan of it. I really wasn't a fan of it. Honestly, it nearly made me DNF it, but stick with it if you are going to read this, because he doesn't call her Mouse for very long. He kind of just starts calling her by her actual name. So I think it was more just like a taking the piss thing, because she's little, and like she's a little human and he's a big tall handsome muscly fae. So I think yeah, it didn't last for very long, so I'm glad about that, because it was doing my head in being called Mouse. It's just not one of my favorite nicknames in books. So yeah, I'm glad that they didn't stick with that and she just gets called Law now, which is a name. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I don't think I've even said what this book is about. So basically we've got Law, who is a human who is from a really small town that's stuck where they are. They're not allowed to really leave the town, they're not allowed to explore. They're kind of ruled over by the Fae, I think. And then you've got the Fae world where they're all like beautiful, tall people, when the life seems to be a lot easier. You know, they've all got money and everything looks much more lovely than it does in the human world. But then they realise that Law, who works in an apothecary, can speak the Fae language. So they end up asking her to go to this magical library in the Fae land, where there is like a spell on this library that means Fae can't enter it. So they need the help from Law, the human, to go into the library and find some of these specific books that they want, and also to tidy it up and do a log of everything that's in there, because Fae haven't been able to go in there. I think it was 1,000 years, something like that. They've not been able to go in there. So yeah, that's what she's been tasked with, and in exchange they're going to help her and her town sort of rebuild after this earthquake, which I think the earthquake was caused by the Fae, but that's not been confirmed yet. But that's my thinking, is it was actually caused by them in order to give her some leverage to help them, you know. So yeah, it's all very magical, very whimsical and enchanting. I do think it says on the back that it's a cozy fantasy, and I don't necessarily think I would advertise it as a cozy fantasy. I think I don't know, I guess it does give like the kind of magical vibes, but yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily describe it as cozy fantasy. But anyway, I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm glad I started reading it. I probably will get it finished today because like I say, I'm really enjoying it. And then I've actually got the second one on hold at the library, so I'm hoping that will come in soon so that I can go into reading it. I think someone's got it checked out at the moment, so it might be a couple of weeks until I get hold of it, but hopefully sooner rather than later I'll be able to do it, because I was just gonna buy the next one because I was enjoying it so much, but it's only out in hardback. Oh, it's so annoying when they do that. So I don't want one paperback, one hardback, so I'm just gonna get it out the library, and then the paperback's not out until next April. Like, how ridiculous, do you know what I mean? How ridiculous. So I'm gonna just read it from the library, and then next April I'll buy the paperback for my shelves. But yeah, anyway, gonna go carry on reading and yeah, see how it ends. I'm assuming it's gonna end on a bit of a cliffhanger leading on to the second one, but I don't know. But yeah, really enjoying it so far. That was genuinely so good. I really enjoyed that. I've literally just finished it. That ending, that was so good. I need to read the next one now, immediately. Like I said before, I've put it on hold at the library, and the person who's got it out at the moment needs to bring it back tomorrow, so I'm hoping they actually do, and then it could be on its way to me. I need to read the next one. It ends on such a cliffhanger and really like sets you up for the next book. I'm really excited about reading it. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm excited to see how Laura's relationship with this guy, how that develops. I'm looking forward to seeing that in the next book. But yeah, that was honestly, that was so good. I really didn't see that coming, that ending. I need the next one. I think the only things I would say is, firstly, the nickname of Mouse comes back a couple of times, and each time I was like cringing internally, so that's one thing I mentioned. But also there was one point where there's like a bit of a spicy scene, like nothing too crazy but a bit unexpected, and I just think it was really unnecessary. It just wasn't needed there at all. And don't get me wrong, I love a bit of spice, you know, but it just didn't feel needed in this. It just, I don't know, it just kind of came out of nowhere, and I just feel like it didn't make sense with the story. It wasn't necessary to be there. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it 4 stars. Like I say, I'm so excited to read the next one. I need it immediately. I really wish that it had come out in paperback, because I would have ordered it already and had it here. So yeah, I'm glad this video ended on a high note. That is the end of today's video, and that's my August TBR done finally. I hope you did enjoy. If you did and you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. But other than that, I will see you in a bit.